and happy Preservation Month. My name is Natasha Klemick, and I work as part of the property care team at Historic New England. I'm also a member of the Boston Preservation Alliance Young Advisors Board. For the past couple days, I've been working at the Hamilton House in South Berwick, Maine, doing some plaster repairs as part of an ongoing restoration project. As you can see on the wall behind me, we've got some plaster loss, which I will be patching with a traditional mixture of lime, sand, and hair. But we also have some areas where the plaster is detached from the wall. And here at Historic New England, we use a system to basically glue that plaster back onto that wall. And that allows us to retain as much of the original historic material as possible. So I'm going to give a quick demo of what that looks like. First step is we drill pilot holes. I've already drilled my pilot holes in this area that I'm going to be working in right now, through the plaster to the lath. Second step is I use the first mixture, which is a diluted version of the adhesive. It's diluted in denatured alcohol, and I inject that into the holes to sort of prep the area, break up surface tension, get the materials ready for the adhesive. So that's, put safety glasses on. Sometimes this stuff sprays out at you, don't want it in your eyes. So just put the syringe, without a needle, just the syringe, up to the holes. Inject a little bit in, not too much, just enough where I think it's getting back there, doing enough. Okay? Then I'm going to let that sit and soak in for a little bit. While I wait to do that, I wanted to mention actually the lath, which is interesting, and it is contributing in part to the reason that the plaster is kind of detaching. This is accordion lath. People who have seen traditional sort of plaster and lath walls, you might feel like this is a little bit different because it's not those nice like even boards with the big gaps that get nailed to studs and then the plaster gets attached to that. This is an earlier version of lath. This was used in New England up until the early 1800s, and since the Hamilton House dates from the 1780s, this is why we see accordion lath. The issue with accordion lath is that it doesn't have quite as many of those nice gaps for the plaster when it's being applied to like get in and behind and key and hold on to. So that's why there's sometimes a higher likelihood of the plaster detaching from the lath over time. I think that initial mixture is probably good, so then we're going to inject our adhesive, which is it's an acrylic emulsion. It's kind of thick, kind of like yogurty texture. Put my safety glasses back on. And just inject a bit. Kind of enough so it spreads out in sort of maybe like a $50 or a quarter size around the pilot holes. And that, of course, I have to just guess. But if I give the wall a bit of a push, I like to see some of that adhesive kind of coming back out. That'll be fine. And then, finally, we drill like some plaster buttons or some strapping. This is what I've done over here. I did this yesterday, just to suck that plaster back to that lath and get a good adhesion. Let that cure for at least 24 hours, and then I can remove the bracing and have my repaired, re-adhered plaster on my lath. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was interesting, and take care.